to your reading. I hope you're all well. I've already prayed and pre-shuffled, so we're going to jump straight in. I'm going to read the field for you and we'll see what comes through. Okay, so we've got a King of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Cups in reverse, Eight of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Seven of Cups, Seven of Wands, and the Hierophant in reverse. Let me just double check the reversals for you. Okay, the Hierophant is upright. It's in reverse. Okay. Well, basically, instantly what I saw is there's an energy around having to let go of someone. So let me just get more information on that, because it's a little bit... Well, okay, it's like I'm being asked to correct that. It's more detach. You're being asked to detach from someone, but for you, it could feel like you have to let go, or you're letting go, or you are sort of even grieving them like a loss. But actually, it's speaking more of detachment. You're being asked to detach from a person, which paradoxically could bring you commitment. So let me ask what the reason why is the collective meant to detach. This person is, they have to learn a lesson, but also you, like you're both learning a lesson around, there's an imbalance when it comes to giving and receiving. So depending how you're wired, you may either identify with like you're more the taker, like you just have a tendency of leaning back and people come and give to you, or you identify more with the person that overextends themselves, overgives, tries to bridge a gap, a sort of gap, like if there's tension, you're the one that goes in to fix that and soothe that. So I feel more the latter for who I'm talking to on here. If that resonates with you, for you, it will be basically you're being asked to take the other position. You're being asked to lean back and allow yourself to receive. It's like the lesson is around these roles being sort of inverted. Like you are meant to experience, exactly like I just told you, you're meant to experience a specific, like here it's coming down to a specific person, but it can be read as the general, as the dynamic that needs to change so that you feel more like, okay, this is actually in my favor. Because right now, one of you, and again, I feel it's more the collective I'm reading for, the ones that go in to fix and soothe things. Yeah, you sort of, I'm getting a repeat pattern. You sort of seem to find yourself in the same loop. So it's even not so much like, that's what I'm saying, even though it may be connected to a specific person, you may find yourself in the same loop, even if it's with other people or with other, there's a repeat pattern here. And the antidote or the solution is exactly like you're being asked to do something different. You're being asked to recognize which is the role you identify with. Are you more the one that takes? Because if you are the one that takes, your lesson will surround having to step up and give to someone so that you can keep them in your life. That's how I'm getting like these two scenarios. So the taker will be sort of forced to step up when the giver, the one that, this dynamic is already in place. Like there's already been a pattern unfolding. This is not, a specific person has already been able to study you. So this could look like they would pull away and they would study and observe what do you do when you pull away, and you as the giver may rush in and try to soothe or bridge the connection, or may get really anxious, oh, if I don't do that I'm going to lose them. And that then sort of amplifies that behavior because there's no risk for them. You're always there, so they don't have to risk. There's no risk. They don't have to put more effort. They don't have to give more because you're the one doing that. So when you then reverse that, when you reverse the dynamic and you're the one suddenly leaning back, and if, let's say, as an example, what's coming through is, let's say you lean back, you don't text anymore. When you feel tension or you feel silence, you don't rush in to fill it. You just allow it to be and see what happens. Does the other person step up, or do they fall away even? That's part of what I was picking up at the beginning, where you may then feel like, oh, I'm grieving a loss, or what if I had fixed it or soothed it, then maybe the connection would stay, but it would not stay the way that you want it to stay. Like, you'd always be the one overextending yourself, overgiving to the point where you feel drained and just cast aside even. So this is a really important lesson that is unfolding, that you ultimately get, if it leads to commitment, that you get one that is balanced, where there's equal give and take. Because right now it's very imbalanced, and also, like I was telling you, a specific person doesn't feel the need to step up because you're always there. You're always soothing. You're not allowing tension to build, or you're not allowing tension to stay there. You're not allowing another person to fix something if something needs fixing. Like, you're the one doing that. It's giving Bob the Builder. So, yeah, what Five of Swords was telling me, I was picking up on tension. Two of Wands. Tension is needed for a connection to survive. Like, this may feel counterintuitive, or you may feel it doesn't have anything to do with drama. It means that, exactly as an example with the silence, if you can allow silence to exist, if you can sit with the discomfort of silence or with the discomfort of tension, you actually pull a person closer in this specific case. I'm hearing they need to feel that they don't fully have you. And it's also not about playing games. It's that they step up in a way that balances out a dynamic that is very imbalanced right now. And also for you, it may give you a feeling of like, wait, this person actually wants me as well. It's not just me. We've got a Knight of Swords in reverse and a Six of Cups. I don't know what that is about right now. I want to circle back to that because I still got a spread open. So yeah, that's the lesson that is unfolding. Also, in the same breath, what I'm getting about this overgiving and one person taking, is also coming down to the way you express your emotions. So there's advice coming through to not overexpress yourself until the other person has shown you effort and has shown that they are invested in you and that they even want to know about your internal landscape. Because apparently some of you are just blurts, like you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, or this could also be something you've experienced in the past that you're now learning to, reel it back in. I'm hearing they don't deserve, like some people don't deserve you to know about your internal landscape. They need to earn it. You're not doing yourself any favors, what I just heard. Yeah, it just basically sort of, there's just an energy, I keep picking up on an energy of overgiving, over-explaining, overextending yourself, and it puts a dampener on where tension lives. And tension breeds attraction and also desire, and this apparently is part of the lesson that, again, sitting with the discomfort, sitting within silence without being the one rushing to bridge the gap and allowing another person to step up as well, because you might be surprised. Either they fall away or they generally step up in a way where you then get to lean back and you get to receive. But this is also sort of a blockage that it's part of this inversion that we're seeing in the whole world or in the dating landscape, where sort of the roles have become reversed between male and masculine and feminine energies, sort of distorted, and it's bringing about a lot of problems So this is part of that. This is part of dismantling what you may have learned, which I'm picking up on confusion. It's like if you implement this advice, you may feel very confused at the beginning until you see it working. Also, though, it brings me back to the beginning of like grieving a loss or grieving a connection that you may have felt there's a lot of potential. Now I'm looking at the Six of Cups. The reason this reading is coming through for you is because you seem to pick up on intensity very fast, or you seem to pick up on sort of a deeper bond within a connection before the other person has even felt it. So it's like you are 10 steps ahead or you're 20 steps ahead, and you may then also already feel the need, like you may feel the desire to share your emotional landscape because you feel connected and you feel a bond, whereas the person isn't there yet. They're like sort of lagging behind, and this is where you're gonna help. It's gonna help your situation if you can reel it back in and only share your internal world and internal landscape when you, I'm hearing, feel safe to, and also the person has shown you consistently that they're interested in you that way. Because I'm hearing push-pull, and that also can cause confusion, where you may be dealing with someone who sort of shows interest but then they back off again, sort of shows interest, backs off again, and like constant push and pull. And that exactly sets you up for a dynamic where you then suddenly may be the one that rushes in, you bridge the gap, you bridge the silence, you don't allow tension to live. Like you reward bad behavior with more of your attention. So that's why I'm saying it's just confirming what I was already channeling. It then creates a dynamic that may feel hard to get out of because the person doesn't feel like they need to step up. They can go silent on you for a week or two. When they decide they want to be close again, you're there. So with the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles out, this is where once you master this, or once you learn the lesson around this, you're gonna notice how the dynamic changes with a specific person. They are observing if you can stay grounded and if you can stay centered even when they pull back. It's as if they want to see, it's as if someone wants to or needs to see that you, for one, will exactly not do that. You will not chase that. You will not chase after them when they go silent on you. You will not reward bad behavior with more of your attention. Because right now it looks like you're being tested by someone. Not in a bad way. It actually means that they are generally considering you long term. But for that to, this is what they're trying to find out apparently. Like this seems to be quite strategic, the way they're approaching you, the way they're approaching this dynamic. Here they as well have a lesson though. Like they may be used to having people chase after them, or having exactly like, oh, they could just get away with whatever the fuck they want. They can go silent on a person, when they reach out again they're still there. Like this is what actually makes you intriguing, because by the looks of it you haven't chased them so far. It doesn't look like there's a little bit of that energy of like overextending, overgiving, bridging the gap, soothing tension, but it's not too much. Like I want to say it's not too much of it. There's still, it looks like you're already learning the lesson while being in this dynamic. I'm hearing in the past you may have felt more of that. Like you may have felt more of what was coming through of like, yeah, I was always like Bob the Builder in relationships. And for those of you that feel like you're more the other polarity, the taker, like you more just lean back and people give to you, you're more the one that goes silent on people. Yeah, you can just revert it like the reading. I'm not sure there's so much advice for you coming through. It's more like just shows that there's two parts, like there's a polarity playing out, and there's a polarity that's playing out. With the Eight of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, this is what I mean, like it just looks like it is taking some work to consciously change these patterns, but is whoever I'm talking to, you have recognized that it's only brought you hardship or like pain or sorrow or disappointment. And I keep getting a sense it's counterintuitive. Like may you may recognize or feel you are very, very loving and you are very, very giving, and when you care for someone you would die for them, you know, like to some degree. If you really care for someone, you really love someone, you would die for them. Like you're that type of, I guess, lover. Like you're very, there's an intensity to you, which is exactly why I'm hearing that it, like someone needs to earn you, someone needs to earn that energy from you. You can't just give it out for free. That's exactly what then leads to the disappointment and the sorrow and the pain and the struggle, and where you may really find yourself in, like, when I tune into this card, I'm just picking up on an energy of, yeah, really just not understanding why this tends to happen to you, because you recognize exactly these qualities within you. You recognize how loving you are, how caring, how giving, and there's a sort of disbelief of like, why is this not being honored? Why is this not being appreciated? And this is exactly why, because a person needs to earn that. They need to earn that side of you. When you just give it out for free, it's not valuable. It doesn't feel valuable. They don't understand if you're like this with everyone. Like, they didn't have to put in any work to get that side of you. So that's where the work comes in. The work for you, the challenge is to reel yourself back when you feel like you already feel you care for this person, or you can feel the deep bond that may have lasted lifetimes, and it's like, here we are again, we've reconnected, now we can take off where we started. And I'm hearing they may feel the bond as well, but you don't know for sure until they give you something you can work with. Because there's, again, it's just a different way to describe what I've been picking up so far. It's just someone doing all the heavy lifting, basically carrying the whole ass connection. And that's where you exactly end up in this energy where you're like, what the hell? Like, why is this not being, why is my love not being valued? Why is it not being appreciated? So yeah, part of the lesson is to make a person work for it, make them earn that part of you, that side of you. Well, I just heard, how am I going to do that? And it's a repeat message because I got a Queen of Cups sideways. It's just being less, I guess, less showy, less telly about your emotions, less of wearing your emotions on your sleeve like that as well, sort of being a little bit more vaulted, a little, like, you don't have to go full on cold poker face, but it's just, yeah, not letting your emotional, vulnerable, soft side being so easily accessible without a person showing consistently that they can, for one, handle intense emotions, like they're equipped themselves to handle another person's intense emotions. I'm hearing here to look out for that as well, because some of you have experienced that, whether for a longer time or just recently, where you may have reached out to someone and you wanted to connect on an emotional level and they just couldn't. And that shows you as well that just shows where they're at. And then you get to decide if this is like, are they even capable of meeting me there, or do I need to pivot and, way out or manifest someone who can meet me at that level if that is important for me. I kept referring to specific connections, but I am picking up on a few different ones. But it felt like easier to just read it from one specific point of view. But I am, like, some of you are dealing with multiple people at the same time, so you're dealing with like different you in real time are getting feedback from different people as to how they can carry the connection with you, or whether they even can carry the connection with you. And I'm hearing not everyone is equipped, and that's what you're starting to observe or notice, or that's what you're being asked to observe and notice. Who can meet you at your level? Who is putting in effort? Who is investing into you? Who is genuinely wanting to see a softer side for you, who is interested and can then ultimately as well carry your emotional landscape, who shies away or takes a step back when it gets real and it gets like, this is all information that is going to be really helpful, and it's ultimately to keep you from having to experience this state constantly, where you're just questioning yourself. And there's nothing wrong with the capacity to have to love. Like, you may even love more than, to repeat myself, what is being stressed is you're meant to give it to the right person, and for you to recognize who's the right person that deserves that, it may take some time, it may take longer than even you are used to. And again, I'm staring at the Six of Cups. This is where you may get caught up when you just feel a very strong connection, a very intense bond early on, and I'm hearing some of you mistake that for the real thing. And we touched upon this on Patreon. This was coming through with the labels, and how some tend to push labels onto people without them even showing up that way. It's like you're forcing someone to be a way that they cannot, or they are not, or then they're showing you in real time that they're not that person, but you, it's a bit mean, but I can't get it through. I heard it this way, can't get it through your thick skull that they're not like that. So it's basically just showing and picking up on a few that are stubborn that way, or like hard-headed, because it's like what you're feeling doesn't match what the person is showing. And this is as well where you seem to be getting caught up in potential. You may see timelines, or you may have visions of what is possible with certain people, with a certain person, but if they don't live up to that, this is where you may start becoming Bob the Builder. You try managing the relationship, or you try managing the person in the hopes that they grow into who they could be, but they never do. Because again, they don't have to. You're always there. You're not giving them the space to step up. You're not creating a situation or a scenario where they either need to step back, step up, or they fall away. Tell me about the Seven of Wands. Yeah, I'm seeing that you're not lacking options. What seems to be happening is that you're recreating the same pattern with different people, and it's exactly because you tend to step into this overgiver, overextending, Bob the Builder, I'm a fix this, too much silence, I don't like it, we need to fix this. It's also very telling how you may have been like the emotional regulator in a family. Like, most of our relationships in adulthood that we live out, they sort of, the way we engage with our lovers or boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever you want to call them, is a template that we've learned in childhood. So I just picked up on that it felt very much like being an emotional regulator in families. Like, you may have learned early on how to soothe people's emotions. When there was tension, you could make someone laugh and then the tension would disappear. Like, empaths. So I'm getting now an energy of, this is as well advice that you can implement, may want to implement, is where you really start slipping more into the role, or understanding that you get to choose as well. You're not meant to just blindly follow another person's plan or their structure. So let's say you meet someone and they tell you they want a casual thing, and you already can feel deep within you that that's not what you want. Like, you already know either you're gonna catch feelings for this person, or with the Six of Cups that I'm staring at again, you already feel like an intense bond, a strong bond. Like, for you, it's already way beyond casual. So that puts you then in the chooser position, in the sense of like, this brings me back to the beginning, to this energy I was picking up on of like feeling like you're grieving a loss already, when actually just being asked to detach. And detachment, more than not, like a lot of times when you detach from a situation or person and they feel the gap, that's what's going to make them either step up or they fall away. But either one is not going to be a loss for you. What's going to be a loss is if you override your signal and you're like, all right, let's keep it casual. They don't have to step up then. They got what they wanted. It will start, like, slowly start chipping at you and eroding at you, because you went against what your body was telling you needed, or your spirit, or your mind, or the whole triad. And that's where you end up in situations where you then, it's like a loss of control. And also it makes sense that because before I was picking up on a very controlling energy. That's what I was telling you, with like pushing labels onto people. By labels I mean the twin flame narrative, soulmates, there's a bunch of labels that I feel like I have shared this with you before. More often than not, from what I've seen working as a reader, is that it hasn't served who I was reading for. It hasn't served the collective at all. I just kept seeing dynamics where exactly like there was a gap. There was a gap between the way the person is showing up and what whoever I was reading for was seeing in there, like was imagining or was seeing could unfold. And this is a common theme that here as well. I there was an energy of that I was picking up on. That's why we're talking about this. But you're the judge of that yourself. If you feel like, no, but I met my, whatever label you put on a person, and it suits you and it fits you and it makes you happy, then it's not an issue. It becomes an issue when that person isn't showing up the way you want them to, or the way they could, or the way you feel like, well, but if this is my da-da-da or my da-da-da, then there's just a lot of crap online as well. And there's just a lot of information that is not serving you and just keeps you in dynamics way past the due date, when you could detach and allow others to show up in the way you want them to, who are generally ready to show up that way. Instead of putting all your time and effort into a person that is showing you they can't show up that way, they don't want to, they won't, and you waste years on one specific person. This is just what I was seeing. This is a lot of what I was seeing and what I see. And then you watch readings that tell you exactly what you want to hear, and they keep you stuck in a relationship or in a dynamic, again, way past your due date. It doesn't serve you. You will find that out for yourself, but this is where the advice you're getting is to allow yourself to step into a chooser role, not where you are giving away all your life force, all your power to a narrative that is leading you astray. So one way to call back your power, one way is to drop a label for one, or try dropping the label and try really seeing the person with clear eyes for how they are showing up, what they are showing you they're capable of. And then you can always promote them when they consistently show up for you. But a lot of you are not even talking, like you're not even talking to said specific person you've labeled as this or that. You may not have talked to them for years, but in your head you're going to get married. While the whole time a person who may be ready for that type of relationship is right in front of your nose. You know what I'm getting at? Like, it's a problem. I saw it as a problem when I was reading, or I don't see it as much anymore, because since I stopped using those labels while I was reading, I attracted less of that clientele, because that clientele goes to readers who tells them what they want to hear. They don't come to a person, to me, that will tell them, the truth of, like, I don't think this is who you think they are. because it shatters. Yeah, it's an illusion that gets shattered. It's also someone who has invested so much time, let's say years, into narrative, into storyline, and you get that shattered overnight. Like, it can be heartbreaking. And this brings us again to the beginning, where you're grieving. But when you're grieving, when you have to grieve a loss of what you may have thought would happen with a person, or what you may have thought, let's say, another example, let's say you have a crush and you talk to them, you start texting. The whole time they're treating you as a friend. In their head you're their friend, while you are thinking and believing, oh, this is heading somewhere, like this is heading somewhere romantic. And then suddenly they may come hit you with the, oh, this is my girlfriend, or I'm meeting my girlfriend. Yeah, in that moment it's gonna shatter an illusion, because you may have, for you, whatever the connection you had may have meant something totally different. So in that moment it can shatter an illusion, but it will also set you free, because when you allow yourself to become a chooser, you can see then, okay, this person is not available, the heart is somewhere else. This gives me the opportunity to pivot. Yeah, I may be grieving a loss. Yeah, it may hurt in the moment, but instead of sticking around hoping they will change, I get to pivot towards someone who is emotionally available, who can show up for me in a way that I need them to. A lot of what is coming through, like a big chunk of why this message is coming through, because apparently a lot in the collective are really wasting the time. You're wasting your time in situations, in dynamics, on people who just are not stepping up, and they're not wanting to step up. And when you just stick around, then, you're just giving them attention, you're giving them access to your internal world. They may love the tension, they may still like you to some degree, but not in the way that you will feel chosen and you will feel fulfilled, because ultimately that's what we wish for you. Like, that's why we're doing this as well, is that you get to live, or that you get to manifest and live out a relationship where there's equal give and take. So there's a few different issues coming through. It's a long reading. We're gonna push it to like 45 minutes again, because I was telling you I want to do a lot longer readings on here. But there's the different issues coming through that apparently the collective is moving through, like different relationship issues. But it is still, there's like a red thread that I'm picking up through, even if they're like specific issues, I guess, whatever. But yeah, some of you are wasting time, and it looks like, yeah, you need a little bit of a wake-up call, or it will just help you to see clearly. And also take what people tell you at face value. When someone tells you, I'm not ready for a relationship, even if you feel a whole ass soul tie, soul bond, this is my other half, they're telling you they don't want more. So why are you sticking around? This is exactly where you guys get caught up, apparently, from what I've been reading so far, because I understand the dilemma, because you're feeling something intense, and it doesn't mean, let's say, you may also feel the other person feels something intense, but this is where you cannot carry the whole ass connection. Another person, they also need to meet you halfway. If they don't meet you halfway, they're not choosing you. As hard as that may sound, or as difficult that may be to accept, that will set you free, because ultimately you want someone that chooses you as well. And those of you that let that in, you know what that feels like. It feels like ease, it feels like flow, it feels like you are on the same page. Like, you don't even have to define the relationship, because you can both feel it's headed somewhere. You both want to spend time with each other. There's mutual curiosity, mutual interest in each other's internal landscape, and it unfolds slowly. There's no rush. Like, you're both there on the same page. When you're not on the same page, you may feel it as exactly this like inner drive of like, oh, I need to bridge the gap, oh, I need to make something happen, oh, I need to play Bob the Builder, I need to carry this dynamic. Eventually they will wake up and they will carry it with me, but right now I'm the one. I need to stay, I need to be there, because with time they will choose me, and then they never do. So yeah, this may be a slap in the face for a few of you, but it's apparently what you need to hear, because it will really set you free. The truth sets you free. The truth hurts as hell. It can hurt as hell, but ultimately will set you free. And it does look like you're in a time where you really just need to, or it would be good for you to choose people. This is a general message. People who show you that they want to build with you. They want to build a connection with you just as much as you do. You're not carrying everything yourself. They as well are investing time, energy, and effort. That's what you need to look out for. That's what's going to keep you grounded. That's what's going to keep you from going off into la la land, fantasy land, where you build a whole fantasy relationship with someone who is connected to someone else or wants to be with someone else, for an example, like the example that came through. Or it's just not at your level, emotionally, spiritually, financially, whatever. Like, falling for potential is such a pain in the ass, because it may be true, like what you're picking up on that case, the potential, the timeline, what this person can grow into. We're not saying that may not be true, but where you get caught up is that you try, like, you have no guarantee whether said person will live up to that potential. It's the same with you. Some may see potential, the potential you have for your life with your talents and skills. You may never live up to that potential that other people see within you. You may never live up to that potential that other people see within you, because you have your own limitations, you have your own negative beliefs that you're either going to work through in this lifetime or maybe not. But yeah, it just looks like all of this is just relationship advice, or I guess advice in we can call it relationship advice. It's just to get you to what I was telling you. The end goal or the intention behind this reading, I feel really strongly, is to get you into a relationship or relationships where you feel safe, you feel grounded, you feel cared for, you feel loved, you feel just this is reciprocal. It's not one-sided. It's not unrequited love, where you are left there like, why does nobody value what I have to give? Because you're giving it to the wrong people. Okay. Let's see. I think I felt like we could close with that. Yeah, let's close with that, because I just got the same card again. So I'm going to be back soon. I hope that helps you. If you want to go deeper into this work, there's a whole library of readings on Patreon, so you can dive deeper. They're all timeless, so you can just go through, you can go through the library. You can do the same here. You can just ask, you can set an intention or ask for what you need guidance on. You can just go through the library and see what you're drawn to, and there may be a message in there for you. So yeah, it's timeless transmissions. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, just so I know that you're here and that it resonates, and if for future reading it helps me pick up on your energy more. So I wish you all the best, and I will be back soon.